Alright, everyone. Let's continue our discussion on distribution. So last time we finished with normal distribution. We talk about what is normal distribution, right? Normal distribution is a distribution with the probability density function looks like this. And this is how you calculate the probability. Basically, you don't have to calculate it. You just look up it in the table. This is about normal distribution, and another thing about normal distribution is how to standardize it, right? How to standardize a random normal distribution to the standard form of normal distribution with the mean equal to 0 and the standard deviation equal to 1. The purpose of standardization is to have an easier way to calculate its probability so that we don't have to do the integrals every time when we want to calculate probability. Right now, we can just look at the table and the table can tell us probability. So that's about normal distribution. We still have two types of continuous random variables left, but they're easier to understand and more simple than normal distribution. So first one is a uniform distribution. Uniform distribution, you can tell it from the name uniform, which means that for every single event in this distribution, it has the same probability. They're equally likely outcomes. So that's what we mean about uniform. And the probability density function will look like this. Right? You see every event has the same probability here. And for uniform distribution, you need to notice that there's a range. There's a range for the random variable. You have to specify a range. Otherwise, you cannot calculate its probability, right? You have to specify the range. Once we got the range, because every outcome is equally likely, so it was easy for us to calculate its probability. It just looks like this. And also, the mean is also easy to understand. And this is how you calculate the standard deviation. So a uniform distribution looks like this. And how to calculate its probability is also very easy, right? And you need to pay attention here. You also have to specify the range. And the probability you want has to be within the range of the whole distribution. So that's uniform distribution. Very simple to understand. One last type of continuous random variable is exponential distribution. For this distribution, I would say is quite similar to Poisson distribution. I hope you guys still remember about Poisson distribution. It's a type of discrete random variable. I'm not saying that these two are similar mathematically or something like that. I'm saying that the application of these two types of distribution is quite similar. And also, it's just the application. And also, how do you remember when we talk about Poisson distribution? I said you just have to memorize this is Poisson distribution, and if a question asks something like this and this, that's the question means about Poisson distribution. And for exponential distribution, the logic is the same. You need to just memorize This is exponential distribution. And when the question asks about the length of time or the distance between some random events or some unexpected event, what is the length of time between these two random events, or what is the distance between these two random events? So if a question asks something like this, it means you need to use exponential distribution to calculate. And this is the PDF function right here, the mean, the standard deviation, and this is how you calculate the probability. If you are interested, you can do integral. You can do integrals. You just integrate this function with x bigger or equal than a. You can get the result, but I'm not going to show it here. Okay, so that's all about probability and distribution. Like I said, here you don't need to figure them out mathematically. You don't need to know every single formula. You don't have to know how we get this formula, right? How we get this. You just know what are they and how to use them, how to apply the formula. That's the most important. And a little bit review about this. We talk about 6 types of distribution. There are 3 types in discrete random variables. The first one is binomial. The second one is Poisson. The third one is hypodrometric. They are discrete random variables. They are countable number of events. And the second type is continuous random variable. They are normal distribution, uniform distribution, and exponential distribution. So there are 6 distributions in total. And there are 3 here and 3 here. So that's it. Remember what are they, their formulas, how to use their formulas. That's all you need to know about distribution and the probability. One more thing, the most important distribution is normal distribution. We will focus on the normal distribution for the rest of the semester. So it's better to study more about normal distribution right now, and especially the the standardization of normal distribution. Okay, that's all I want to say about probability and distribution. If you have any question, just come to my office hour, make appointment, come to my office hour, and I'm happy to answer any question. Okay, that's all for this session. Bye bye now.